In Hogwarts Legacy, mastering the art of spellcasting is crucial to your success in the game. Today, we are going to explore some of the most powerful spell combos you can use to take down your enemies, as well as some useful tips and tricks that will take your gameplay to the next level. If you find this information helpful, don't forget to give this video a like, and leave a comment down below sharing your favorite spell combos or tips for fellow players. So, without any further delay, let's get started. It is no surprise that Petrificus status is one of the most unique spells in Hogwarts Legacy, capable of one-shotting most enemies if used correctly. Maintaining yourselves with either the Disillusionment Charm or Stealth Potion is key to unleashing the full potential of this spell. However, you can still use it in combat without stealth if you manage to hit the last remaining enemy with Galicious. The game technically considers you out of combat at that point, allowing you to use Petrificus Totalis. You can even apply this method to the last two remaining enemies in the fight by casting Galicious on one enemy and Arrestum Momentum on the other, enabling you to use Petrificus Totalis against both of them. However, this method may not work against certain enemies in the game, such as Ashwinders, Dogbogs, large spiders, and trolls, as the effect of both Arrestum Momentum and Galicious wears off quickly. Nevertheless, you can still make it work by using one of the unforgivable curses, Imperious. Simply put one of these enemy types under your control with the Imperious curse during the fight, and after they outlive their usefulness, dispose of them with Petrificus Totalis. This method can be especially useful for taking out tough enemies early in the game when you are still under-leveled and lacking gear. Galicious is an incredibly powerful spell in Hogwarts Legacy that can be a game changer in any battle. When used as part of a spell combo, it can have a devastating effect on your enemies. The spell freezes the target, making them take more than double the damage of any follow-up spell. For example, Defendo usually deals around 2.7k damage for me, but when used after Galicious, it ramps up to 6.8k damage. Although Defendo is likely the best spell to use after Galicious due to its long range and damage, you can still combo Galicious with other damaging spells like Bombarda or Knupringo. However, the most effective spell to follow up Galicious has to be Incendio, which deals insane damage, especially if you invested in Galicious Mastery that causes the victim of Galicious to explode, damaging everyone around them. One important thing to keep in mind is that the effect of Galicious wears off much faster against large enemies like trolls and big spiders, so be quick with your combo against these types of enemies. To make the previous combo even more powerful, you can add Descendo. Slamming enemies with Descendo deals a significant amount of damage, but slamming enemies in mid-air will cause them to take even more damage. So you can use Accio to pull your enemies into the air, then slam them with Descendo, where they will bounce back up and be ready for you to follow up with Galicious and finish with Incendio. This is likely the most devastating combo against normal enemies that are not immune to Accio effects. I highly recommend investing sometimes in Accio Mastery to grab multiple enemies at once, and Incendio Mastery to give Incendio the Ring of Fire effect that damage multiple enemies around you. If you want to use the previous combo against ranged enemies without having to pull them closer, you can use Levioso or Arrestum Momentum to suspend your enemies in the air, then slam them with Descendo, follow up with Galicious, and finish off with Defendo. This combo is equally powerful for taking out your enemies from range. Levioso can be also a valuable tool in taking down spiders that burrow underground and then attack the player from below. If you can catch them attempting to dive underground during battle, casting Levioso will instantly rip them apart and kill them. This spell can also be useful against tougher enemies like Dogbogs. If you cast Levioso on a Dogbog right before it attacks you with its tongue, it will be left hanging in mid-air, exposing its weak belly and allow you to use Defendo to slash and instantly kill it. This makes for a guaranteed one-shot combo against Dogbogs. Another effective strategy against Dogbogs is to use spells like the Balso or Felbendo after they charge you, which is indicated by a red circle around your head. These spells will cause the Dogbog to flip over, exposing its weak spot and making it take significantly more damage from your next spell. The Balso in particular is a banishing charm that can push enemies and objects away from you. You can use it to send enemies flying into walls, objects, and other enemies, causing them to take even more damage. For an even more powerful combo, you can use Levioso to lift your target, and then use Accio to pull them closer, followed by Incendio to set them on fire and deal high damage, and finally, use the Balso to banish them into oblivion. This may not be as powerful as the Galicious combo, but a strong one nonetheless. One spell that I'm guilty of overusing is the Ancient Magic Throw. This spell lets you pick up objects and throw them at your enemies. It is very disruptive and a great way to deal damage and can break your enemy's shields regardless of color. Ancient Magic Throw can quickly grab those rocks that trolls often throw at you and throw them back to stun them, causing them to take extra damage from your follow-up spells. You can also use Ancient Magic Throw to a great effect against Goblin Archers. They usually target the player with crossbow bolts infused with dark magic. You can use Ancient Magic Throw to quickly grab the bolt and redirect it to them or any other enemy around. However, Ancient Magic Throw becomes even more effective when combined with other spells such as Expelliarmus. By disarming enemies and using Ancient Magic Throw to grab and throw their weapons back at them, you can deal a devastating blow and look stylish while doing it. This combo is especially effective against goblins and guardians. Additionally, Expelliarmus can be used to disrupt Ashwinder channeling and reflect their spells back at them. Another spell that pairs well with the Ancient Magic Throw is the Transformation spell, especially if you unlock the Transformation Mastery talent, transforming an enemy into an explosive barrel and using Ancient Magic Throw to deal massive damage to your target and any others in the vicinity. This is particularly useful against Inferi and spiders as they are vulnerable to fire damage. It is worth mentioning that there is a bug in the game that causes all other cursed enemies in the vicinity to die instantly when you use Ancient Magic Throw after transforming a cursed enemy into an explosive barrel. This glitch is not an intended feature and its skill is quite powerful and broken. Overall, Ancient Magic Throw is a spell that should not be underestimated in combat situations. With the right combination of spells and talents, it can become a devastating tool in your magical arsenal. And finally, it goes without saying that upgrading your gear and acquiring the correct traits that complement your build can make a night and day difference in your gameplay experience. To achieve this, I recommend progressing through the story until you unlock the Room of the Requirement and gain access to the Loom, which allows you to upgrade your gear and add different types of traits. The damage difference between non-upgraded gear and upgraded gear is significant, and upgrading your gear not only enhances your offensive skills, but also improves your defensive abilities, allowing you to take on more difficult fights without breaking a sweat. It is equally important to have the right traits on your gear, and having rank 3 traits is crucial, regardless of your build. You can farm rank 3 traits from the different camps scattered throughout the world. Each camp contains a chest that can drop traits ranging from rank 1 to 3. To get a specific trait, clear the camp, create a hard save, and open the chest. If you are fishing for a specific trait, you can reload the last saved game and keep trying until you get the trait you want. In one of my next guides, I will showcase the best builds, setups, gear, and traits available in Hogwarts Legacy, so don't forget to subscribe to stay updated. Thank you for watching this guide on Hogwarts Legacy. I hope these steps have been helpful in enhancing your game experience and making your journey through the Wizarding world more enjoyable. If you found this video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment below. Your feedback is greatly appreciated and helps me create a better content in the future. Thank you again for watching and have a great day.